Father's Day is just around the corner, and many dads dream of being king of the grill, and they love a big cut of beef to cook on it. But all steaks and chops are not created equal. So Executive Chef Evan Gassman and General Manager Tim Wong from the new Siesta Key Summer House are here to help us pick the perfect cut just in time for Father's Day, and of course, pair it with the perfect wine.
You got it.
All right, so what a spread you have brought. We are transfixed and drooling from all the options here. Talk us through different cuts of beef, because whether I'm grilling at home or ordering in a restaurant like Siesta Key Summer House, it can be intimidating.
You know what? I don't know the difference, and I don't want to admit it. I'm ashamed.
Right.
Well, I'm going to help you with that, Linda.
Yes,
Thank
I'll
you.
take care of that.
We'll start over here with, this is obviously one of our biggest steaks, our 40-ounce porterhouse.
This is 40 ounces
40
of meat
ounces of porterhouse,
and
yes.
one item on the menu.
One item on the
One
menu.
person could eat this.
Some people can. It is meant for 2 people.
Okay.
Sous vide it for about 6 hours, so it's super tender, and it's the best of both worlds.
Tell us about Porterhouse.
Porterhouse, you get the filet, and you also get your New York strip.
Oh, so it's like both.
It's the best of both worlds.
Okay.
And anytime you cook something on the bone, there's that much more flavor. So that's kind of one of our specialty steaks that we don't sell too many of because it's one of those bigger items, but people really come in, and it's a special occasion.
Is it splittable?
Yes,
you know,
we
is that
do.
a nice couple's
We
dinner?
take it, we slice it off the bone, and we put it back on the plate. It comes out sizzling, and it's a really nice shareable
that would be
Because
nice.
if the concept is the meat is juicier and more tender on the bone cooked, then I would like the idea of sharing it so everyone
Exactly.
gets
I'll
Yeah.
take the one right here.
She likes the filet. Okay, now part of the porterhouse is, of course, the New
Also
York
New York
strip.
strip, but also there are different farms, different ways that they produce the cattle. So this is a Nyman Ranch, New York strip. They treat their animals so humane. We do a lot of work with them, and the meat is actually a little bit more sweet.
Tell us about the qualities of a New York strip.
The qualities of a New York strip, there's a little less fat, you know, so I tell people if you're looking, fat is flavor, but I don't like to wrestle with a steak all night long. So ribeye has a little bit more fattiness, a strip is less fat, you have that fat cap there, but a little bit leaner, more meat. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
sounds good. Now, most of us have a go-to steak because of our comfort zone, and I know both Linda and I, it's filet.
Yes.
What are we getting when we order a filet?
Like I said, you're getting this portion of your porterhouse. A filet, as a chef, I normally steer otherwise, but a filet is super tender. It's got a good amount of flavor, but eats like butter.
And it doesn't have fat like the
No,
others
there's no
do.
fat.
Now,
So-
tell us why you steer away, though, because I've heard this over and over from
and
chefs.
most chefs will steer away. There's just not as much flavor as your other cuts.
Okay.
Very
So we're
tender,
getting the
less
tender,
fat.
we're not getting the
You're not
flavor.
getting that fat flavor, you know, opposed to a ribeye over here who's got that nice fat cap in it. And as that's cooking, that fat is almost melting back into the meat.
Okay, so
Self-basting.
ribeyes do have a little more fat.
Ribeyes do have a little bit more fat, as you can see in this fat cap here. This is our prime dry aged ribeye,
Okay.
bone in. But yes, there's a little bit more fat to wrestle with.
And
So
I have
they should
to,
taste better.
It should taste
they
better.
do taste good,
do,
but you have to work a little harder,
Yes.
right?
You have to work
You have to work a little
harder.
more for it.
And
Exactly.
do people care about that, or do people know when they're
Like
ordering?
I said, if it's your go-to strip, you know, if that's your go-to steak, then you're okay with
You're
it. I'm a
bone in.
strip guy. I know Tim's a ribeye guy,
Right.
so.
Okay.
it's just
Oh,
a
really?
bit
The
of-
restaurant is so beautiful, you won't mind like taking your time.
Taking there and being there
eating,
forever.
I promise.
All right, now we often see something that is dry aged on the menu. Explain that concept.
The easiest way I describe that to people coming in is it's like a sun-dried tomato. We are extracting some of that moisture out of it, so we're intensifying that flavor. You know, sun-dried tomato has that punch, that robustness, more of that beefy flavor. So that's kind of how I describe a dry-aged piece of meat.
Okay, and so that gives it just that additional level.
Yeah, that level. I don't want. It's a good funk. It's that blue cheesy, you know, and you have to really know what you're getting into.
Okay.
Some people that come in the restaurant and aren't aware of that, they think it's a little different, and we want to make
It
sure that
it is different.
It has a
Definitely
different
It's-
flavor
But
profile.
it's got that umami flavor. It's that nutty. It's delicious. And if you've never had one, come in and try it. You know.
Definitely.
Okay, now here's something I've never had. What is standing in front of you? I am not familiar with this.
This is a kind of off-the-menu specialty thing, but it's a 3-day out. You need to call 3 days ahead of time. This is our prime beef shank. It does take 3 days to make. We marinate it for a day. We cook it for a day, and then we let it cool for a day. And you guys are able to come in. We serve it with some of our fresh vegetables, and it's a really nice sharing piece.
Tell us about the flavor profile of a beef shank.
I would say very short ribby-ish. So it's the bottom part of the cow leg, and like I said, we cook it. It's just that fall apart, That's
looks like
all
comfort
meat.
food.
Exactly,
Yes.
that is all meat.
Definitely
You know, we
comfort
have some beautiful wines to pair with it.
Yeah,
and
'cause that's never going to happen at my house.
Right, we're going to
But,
you
you know,
for that.
for 4 to 6 people, it's really, really cool to
It's a
come
great
in, get a
shareable.
couple salads and appetizers, and it's a really showstopper when you take
It
that out.
certainly is. All right, well, you mentioned wine, and of course, both Nikki and I have
Yes.
already found some.
Yes.
The myth of needing to drink the heavy red wine with the beef. How does that work in a Sarasota summer?
No, in the Sarasota summer, I mean, it's your choice. You can pair anything with anything. Rosé, I mean, with the summer heat, you want something light. But we also have all the way down earthy, Cabernets, etc. We offer a unique service. We do a Corvin service, which allows us to pour a lot of wines by the glass that you would normally have to buy the whole bottle. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a Corvin.
A Corvin, tell us exactly what it does.
Basically, you take it, you pierce the cork with this needle. It pumps an argon gas, which is an inert gas, which doesn't affect the flavor profile of the wine. And you're able to pour out a glass and then extract the needle, and the wine stays intact. So not that you just need to drink a glass. You might as well order the bottle if you're going to drink a glass.
But if I
But
want to
if you
try
wanted-
something really
Yeah.
unique
Exactly.
or
Right.
special, maybe I can't
Exactly.
afford the
Yeah.
bottle.
Exactly.
I can have a glass.
And it's
Yeah.
great for
Everyone
doing
like
wine
it.
dinners
Yeah.
and stuff like
Yes.
that, where we can pour little samples and stuff like that for
Yeah.
our wine dinners.
Sounds like a great way to go tasting
Yes.
as
Your
well.
service is amazing.
Well, thank
I have
you
to
so
give
much.
it to you guys. We've
Appreciate
been there
it.
3 times, 4 times now, and the level of attention to detail and the product knowledge on the menu is very
Well,
commendable.
thank you. We
so-
appreciate that. We are starting a bar menu probably in about 2 weeks.
Yes.
Oh, good.
From 4 to 6, so that's available
bar,
at the
yeah.
bar.
And a quick mention, because how can we ignore the other beauties in front of us? It is not just steak for those who might
we
not
have
want.
lovely seafood. So here's a 2-pound lobster tail off the African coast. You know, we do offer really good salmon. We have some beautiful scallops, all sustainably sourced. So we are happy and proud of our
Yes.
seafood.
Okay, for those of us who are not going out for Father's Day and we're going to grill at home a gorgeous cut of meat like this, what is the #1 thing that we need to remember
Gosh,
when we
I
grill
think
at home?
my biggest thing, and I harp on my cooks at the restaurant, we need to temper that beef. So you never want to take a piece of meat right out of the cooler and throw it on a hot grill because it's
okay.
40 degrees and it's not going to cook evenly.
Okay.
You want to pull that steak out in about an hour before you're ready to
So
serve
we're
it.
safe. We're safe resting
Yes.
meat on the counter for
Yes,
an hour.
because you're going to cook it, unless you're going to wait, you want to be able to cook it and eat it within that, 20 minutes after it comes
Okay,
off.
now do we rest our steaks after we pull them off the grill as well?
5-minute maximum, please.
Five
Yeah.
minutes.
Okay. Hour before,
Right.
5 minutes after. And you're like, I know. And you hold your glass like this while you
It's
wait
worth
for it.
it, yeah.
All right, well, if you don't want to do the grilling at home, we have professionals here doing an amazing job, like Chef Evan, of course, at Siesta Key Summer House, a new restaurant out on Siesta Key. You can go to summerhousesiestakey.com for more details. And happy Father's Day to everybody celebrating. This is a great way to
Thank
do
you,
it.
guys.
All right, coming up next, we're going to tell you about a great deal at Disney parks. Stay with us.